Cinemania, we'll reminisce about years gone by with the top 5 high school films. Look into the pressure on young celebrities to appear thin and perfect. And grab the tissues because later we'll count down the best film tragedies. All this and more as we look at the silver screen's best and worst in Cinemania. But first, let's head back to school and count down Cinemania's top 5 high school movies, from the cool to the strange, which will come in at number 1. At number 5, we find a high school that teaches born superheroes how to harness their power.
Good morning. I am Principal Powers. On behalf of all the faculty and staff, welcome to Sky High.
That's right. It's Disney's action-adventure Sky High, a film about a high school for the children of the world's most legendary action heroes.
Are the greatest superheroes on the planet.
Step up here and show me your power. Car. Hero.
If you don't make hero, you're just a sidekick.
Car.
Are you insane?
Sidekick.
While this high school looks like a lot of fun, the film's main character Will, the only child of 2 of the world's greatest superheroes, looks like he hasn't inherited any of his parents' superpowers. Upon release, Sky High was praised for entertaining the youngsters while slyly winking to their parents. Sky High is one high school you would love to attend, which is why it comes in at number 5.
Remember when we used to use real citizens?
Yes.
Cinemania's 4th greatest high school movie encourages their students to excel at football. It's Friday Night Lights.
It's time.
The film tells the story of an economically depressed town in Odessa, Texas, and their heroic high school football team, the Permian High Panthers.
Warfare. We're in the business of winning.
What would a high school football team be without a coach? Coach Gary Gaines, played by Billy Bob Thornton, is responsible for leading the team to the 1988 state championship final. Along the way, the team, its players, and the town itself learn a few lessons on life.
Your dad played at Permian. What's it like to be the son of a local legend?
To make the film realistic and authentic, the director Peter Berg shot real games when the 2003 Permian High School football team played. These shots were interspersed throughout the film. That's why Friday Night Lights is Cinemania's 4th greatest high school film.
Where you going?
You want me to go in, Coach?
You don't want a helmet? My goodness gracious.
For Cinemania's 3rd position, we ventured to a New York high school.
I hope you understand what you're doing, Pierre.
These are the kids that need the most help of all, and you're with them doing the cha-cha.
What are you doing to help them?
Inspired by a true story, the family drama Take the Lead follows a class of troubled teenagers who are taught by an internationally acclaimed ballroom dancer, played by none other than Antonio Banderas.
People who show up together.
Break it down. What is the name of the move you just did?
Ain't got no name. What you looking at is history in the making.
Your music with my music.
Check this out.
Banderas' character volunteers to teach in the New York City public school class, but when his classic methods clash with his students' hip-hop instincts, he teams up with them to create a new style of dance, becoming their mentor in the process. This is one high school that Antonio Banderas fans would love to go. That's why it's rated Cinemania's 3rd greatest.
Hey, ladies.
Cinemania's 2nd greatest high school film, Saved, took high school bitchiness up a notch, as the peer pressure at the American Christian high school is controlled by overzealous, relentlessly devout teenagers led by Mandy Moore.
I'm going to need you to be a warrior out there on the front lines for Jesus.
You mean like Shooter?
No, I was thinking of something a little less gangster.
In the film, Moore's character spends her time trying to convert Jewish schoolmate Cassandra, looking after her wheelchair-bound brother, and trying to get the cute skateboarding missionary to go out with her. When a friend of hers finds out she's pregnant to her gay boyfriend, she tries to save her too. Despite the film's comedic take on the Christian faith, Moore didn't feel it would cause offense.
Accusations as we're trying to save your soul? Mary, turn away from Satan. Jesus, he loves you. You don't know first thing about love. I am filled with Christ's love. God, you are just jealous of my success in the Lord.
In number 1 position, Cinemania's greatest high school movie is the cult favourite Napoleon Dynamite.
It's a sledgehammer.
Dang, you ever take it off any sweet jumps?
Thanks to the film's lovable oddball characters and a few strange but memorable scenes, this film became a hit. The film followed high school student Napoleon Dynamite and his efforts to help his best friend Pedro claim the title of student body president from Pedro's nemesis, Summer Wheatley.
Is there anything wrong?
Not only did this film make Vote for Pedro shirts a must-have wardrobe accessory, but they also increased the demand for Idaho's most famous export, the popular side dish made of grated potato, tater tots.
Napoleon, give me some of your tots.
No, go find your own.
Come on, give me some of your tots.
No, I'm freaking starved. I didn't get to eat anything today. Oh, God. Gross. Freaking idiot.
There's a little Napoleon Dynamite in all of us. That's why this high school movie is considered Cinemania's best.
Until I took a trip to the other side of town.
Some red carpet fashions come and go, but one trend that shows no sign of slowing is the pressure to be slim, but not too slim. These celebrities deny disorders, but their visible bone outline indicates otherwise. At one point, this actress was dubbed the incredible shrinking Lindsay Lohan. The once happy and healthy-looking Lindsay had a tough year in 2005. After the enormous success of Mean Girls and stress in her private life, Lindsay lost a dramatic amount of weight. In 2005, Vanity Fair published an article claiming that Lindsay had admitted to battling bulimia, but Lindsay claimed she was misquoted, blaming her weight loss on stress. Kate Bosworth is another actress who's already thin-framed, slowly, over a few years, turned rail-thin. The Superman Returns actress claims to be naturally small, but her protruding collarbone and visible ribcage suggests her eating habits are anything but natural. Fad diets and the pressure to be perfect has both the fans and media raising concerns for the health of these actresses. But is the attention doing more harm than good? Not according to Keira Knightley, who, while surprised by the suggestion that she herself had an eating disorder, encouraged the issue to be raised and discussed.
They said that to me yesterday. They went, "How does it feel to be always called anorexic?" I had no idea that I was. I can safely say that I'm not. I've got a lot of experience with anorexia. It was in my family hugely. My grandmother and my great-grandmother suffered from it, and I've got a lot of friends at school who suffer from it, so I don't think it's anything to be taken lightly.
This Oscar-nominated actress insists that she does not have an eating disorder. Anorexic or just slender? There's really no way to tell for sure. So while this red carpet fad continues, we'll let you make up your own mind. Stay tuned as we count down Cinemania's top 5 action hero actors. From the tough to the die-hard, which will come in at number 1? At number 5, we find action star Harrison Ford, also known as Han Solo or Indiana Jones. Over 25 years after first stamping his name as an action hero, Ford is still at it. In 2006, he starred in the action-adventure Firewall, playing a character who was battling to get his family back. His on-screen nemesis was played by Paul Bettany, who is 30 years his junior. Ford proved that he still has what it takes. Even after being thrown out of a window a couple of times, he continued to get up, ready for more. One of his most famous action heroes is Indiana Jones. This adventurer is one of Cinemania's favourites. That's why Harrison Ford makes it on to Cinemania's list of best action hero actors. At number 4, we find Jackie Chan, a name synonymous with death-defying stunts, edge-of-your-seat adventures, and of course, action heroes. His amazing energy has helped this silver screen star achieve Hollywood stardom. He has enthralled audiences around the world with his death-defying stunts and comic timing. Jackie entered the movie scene in his mid-teens as a stuntman. It wasn't until he merged his comedic talent with his acting that he hit his stride, often being referred to as the Buster Keaton of Kung Fu. In 1996, Jackie hit a major turning point with Rumble in the Bronx, exhilarating fans. He went on to make the box office hit Rush Hour, and in 2000 struck gold again with Shanghai Noon. Every stunt this action hero performs appears effortless. That's why Jackie Chan comes in at number 4. At number 3 on Cinemania's list of top 5 action heroes is Bruce Willis, famous for his heroic character John McClane from the Die Hard series. In 2001, he announced that he'll never again appear in an all-action save-the-world blockbuster, but Bruce has had a hard time escaping his reputation as that genre's most successful and sought-after star. His feature film debut came in 1987 in the comedy Blind Date. A few more hits were to follow before his breakthrough performance in the blockbuster motion picture Die Hard. The film was one of the highest-grossing films of 1988. The movie skyrocketed Bruce's career. Despite his intentions to avoid the action genre, Bruce couldn't stay away for too long. In 2005, he played the hero in the action thriller Hostage, and also did his best to protect Jessica Alba in the stylized action film Sin City. That's why action hero Bruce Willis comes in at number 3.
You can't do a thing to me, Hardigan.
At number 2, we find the fast-running, stunt-performing, boundary-pushing action hero, Tom Cruise. In Mission Impossible and its sequels, Tom played a smooth, suave secret agent, Ethan Hunt. His name and appearance are so closely intertwined with characters that save the day. For the film War of the Worlds, director Steven Spielberg made a conscious decision to de-Tom Cruise his character, making him an everyday, average Joe dad.
We're leaving this house in 60 seconds.
But he continued to save the day.
Okay?
Why?
Just do it.
After all these years, this Top Gun hero remains a blockbuster success and is considered one of the most powerful and, understandably, the highest-paid actors in Hollywood.
Hey, marker.
Tom Cruise is also eager to earn his money, insisting on performing all his own stunts in the action-packed 2006 film Mission Impossible 3.
I'll be back.
That's right. In number 1 position, we find the ultimate actor to play an action hero, Arnold Schwarzenegger. It all began in 1968 when Arnie, as he's known to fans, came to the United States and began to transform the bodybuilding scene. He soon appeared in the low-budget film Hercules in New York. In 1984, he starred in The Terminator, an iconic role that launched him as a confirmed action star. Commando followed in 1985, leading to Predator, The Running Man, and Red Heat. In 2003, cashing in on his celebrity status and a strongman movie image, Arnold won a commanding victory from voters in America's biggest state, becoming the Governor of California. When he wasn't spending his time reducing California's debt, he saved the world on the silver screen, returning for the 3rd installment in the Terminator franchise in Terminator 3: The Rise of the Machines.
3 hours from now. Get away from me! Now!
What is your mission? To ensure the survival of John Connor.
Because he does his best to make the world a better place off-screen and on, Arnold Schwarzenegger is Cinemania's greatest action hero. the advertising world, where companies battle for the customer's attention, followed by their loyalty, image is everything. Time for a look at celebrity endorsements. Robert De Niro teamed up with director Martin Scorsese to create this American Express advertisement. While the ad initially received criticism, De Niro represented everything a consumer wants from their credit card: trust, reliability, and security. Unfortunately, sometimes marketing teams get it wrong. Sex and the City's Sarah Jessica Parker became the face of Gap clothing, despite never wearing the brand on her hit show. Not only did her image do nothing to improve sales figures, they actually experienced an overall drop in sales. Parker was quickly replaced by a younger, hipper, more alternative spokesperson, singer Joss Stone. Stone is clearly a more fitting example of what the brand represents. Though, when in doubt, do what Pepsi do and hire multiple stars, all appealing to a different niche. How can you go wrong with an all-star ad featuring Pink, Britney Spears, and Beyoncé Knowles?
We will rock you! We will rock you!
If that fails, try mixing singer Beyoncé with singing actress Jennifer Lopez and football legend David Beckham. Not surprisingly, the advertisements had their own red carpet premieres, adding to the running theme that Pepsi drinkers deserve the best.
You are
Yes, I am.
sitting on my purse.
Clearly not all endorsements work, or do they? Now, where can I buy Pepsi? Grab the tissues and be ready for characters' lives to end not so happily ever after as we count down Cinemania's greatest tragedies. At number 5, we find a tragedy that's been dubbed more tragic than Romeo and Juliet. It's Tristan and Isolde. The historic epic is based on a medieval legend about two doomed young lovers against the forces of royal politics.
Don't you think there's more to life? Why long for things if they're not meant to be ours?
She is a pawn in her father's political plan, while he must betray a man who once saved his life and treated him as a son.
Your marriage will end 100 years of bloodshed.
My marriage to another man. I'll pretend it's you.
While the film received a lackluster reception, the classic tragedy is as heartbreaking as they come.
Is it possible a man might not see treachery right in front of him?
She's in love with Tristan.
You don't know what you have done!
You'll need your tissues for this tragedy, which is Cinemania's 5th greatest. Number 4 on Cinemania's list of greatest tragedies is 21 Grams. In this bleak story, a freak accident brings together a critically ill mathematician, a grieving mother, and a born-again ex-con. Benicio del Toro stars as Jack, the ex-con, who becomes the catalyst for the film's tragic events.
Hey, how you doing?
Naomi Watts played Christine, a reformed drug addict and ex-party girl whose life takes a devastating turn after an horrific accident when Jack ends her dream of a perfect family. While Sean Penn's character Paul is a university mathematics professor suffering from cardiac disease whose life is renewed by a coronary transplant.
Here's a pretty recent photo of Jordan. It was taken the last time he was in jail.
Initially not even acquainted, the trio and their destinies become intertwined in a fusion of love, redemption, and obsession. All the ingredients for a perfect tragedy. Cinemania's 3rd greatest tragedy is the acclaimed drama House of Sand and Fog. This tragedy sees Kathy, played by Jennifer Connelly, dumped by her husband and left to fend for herself. All she has in the world is the house her father left her when he died. And now, even that is being taken away.
Well, they said they would give you your money back.
For the buyer, Masoud, played by Ben Kingsley, buying Kathy's house gives him an opportunity to plan for his family's future. The problem is that Masoud's opportunity comes at Kathy's expense. As far as he's concerned, he's legally purchased the house and is guilty of nothing.
This is your fault, Behrani. You have done this.
You are a complicated woman, aren't you?
I'm not. I'm just really good at complicating things.
Their problems are not easily resolved and ultimately end tragically with an unforgettably heartbreaking scene. At number 2, we find My Life Without Me, a heartbreaking tragedy about a young mother who finds out that she is terminally ill.
You okay? What's the matter?
I'm not gonna see these places.
What is it? What's the matter? You want to tell me?
I'm so sorry, Lee.
Anne is 23 years old. She has 2 young daughters, a husband, a mother who hates the world, and a father who has spent the last 10 years in jail. Her grey existence changes completely after a medical checkup tells her she suffers from terminal cancer. Anne suddenly discovers her appetite for life.
It's very stressful being a hairdresser.
Decidedly against telling anyone about her condition, she sets off to do the things that she wanted to do before her death. The events leading up to her inevitable demise make this tragedy worthy of second position.
Oh no! The biggest lion of them all!
Finally, Cinemania's greatest tragedy is the intertwining tale of 3 childhood friends who grow into very different adults. The Clint Eastwood-directed Mystic River explored the history of 3 men, the terrible events that shaped their future, and the tough choices they eventually had to make.
Where have you been?
Starring Sean Penn, Tim Robbins and Kevin Bacon, the film looked beyond the traditional murder mystery, exploring the effects of the crime on the lives of all the characters in the film. Penn played Jimmy Markham, a man haunted by the death of his daughter. Bacon played Sean Devine, a cop who is charged with finding the killer, and Robbins played the deeply troubled Dave, a guy who manages to survive despite his horrible past.
Dream, you know? How about you tell us what really happened Saturday night, Mr. Boyle? And why's your wife acting like she's afraid of you, huh?
Everyone is weak. Everyone but us. You could rule this town.
Bury us in here.
This tale is tragic in more ways than one, making it Cinemania's greatest cinematic tragedy. That's all we've got time for. Be sure to tune in next time for your dose of Cinemania.